In today's constrained budget environment, military forces must increasingly rely on virtual simulation to train and rehearse as they will fight. And in order to be successful, defense forces must use the latest intelligence available to efficiently and rapidly create the realistic virtual worlds and synthetic environments that will help them train, rehearse, and make decisions. Often today, it takes too long to create, correlate, and put into use the databases required for these realistic synthetic environments. If most military customers were asked to conduct a virtual mission rehearsal exercise for a future mission using different simulators from different vendors, and to do it quickly with existing resources, chances are the answers would be consistent. Too many different databases. It will take months. That will be really expensive. There would be a long list of reasons why it couldn't be done quickly, efficiently, and cost-effectively. Through the development of the CDB, or Common Database Architecture and Standard, CAE has helped meet this challenge by significantly enhancing the ability for our warfighters to use rapidly generated, correlated databases for a range of training, mission rehearsal, and decision support requirements. Instead of having multiple proprietary databases supporting various systems, such as image generators, radar, computer-generated forces, and other simulation subsystems, the CDB is a single repository which all simulation system clients use for the required data. The CDB is coupled with runtime database publishers to eliminate the time-consuming offline database publishing and distribution steps. The CDB is the single-source database that delivers correlated content and inherent interoperability, which is absolutely critical for mission rehearsal. With the CDB as the foundation, CAE is now introducing a capability within live virtual constructive simulation environments that will make the virtual world even more like the real world. CAE has developed the CAE Dynamic Synthetic Environment, or DSE. The dynamic synthetic environment will change in response to actions taken by players interacting with the environment, by computer-generated entities in a scenario, or by environmental effects. The CAE Dynamic Synthetic Environment is unique in its ability to make dynamic changes persist, making the synthetic environment database the mechanism for large-scale distribution of changes. In other words, the CAE Dynamic Synthetic Environment almost lives and breathes to more closely replicate the real world, which is constantly changing and updating. The DSE uses an open, shared public data model. For example, the CAE Dynamic Synthetic Environment can be connected to a weapons effectiveness simulation to determine the correct changes to the virtual world resulting from a weapons detonation, including 3D craters, damage to buildings and vegetation, and detonation effects on other players. This not only creates a visual effect in the out-the-window visual scene, but the synthetic environment for sensors and radar is also updated and accurate without any further user input. What this means is that at the same time a mission is rehearsed, the Dynamic Synthetic Environment database is just that, dynamic, and all of the events that happen during the exercise persist in the Dynamic Synthetic Environment, all while the simulation is still running. And these dynamic updates do not just occur as a result of weapons effects. A dynamic synthetic environment can also be updated to reflect current intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance data, or updated because of the work of combat engineers who often change the environment. And, of course, weather simulations based on forecast or historical weather will change the virtual world over time. All of this makes the CAE Dynamic Synthetic Environment persistent, open, and scalable. DSE can change the terrain anywhere in a worldwide database without advanced knowledge of where the change will occur. DSE is an accurate, correlated representation of changed terrain in not just the visualization, but the CGF and other sensors. DSE is scalable from very large, live, virtual, and constructive federations to a single laptop or mobile system. This approach to dynamic terrain has as a prerequisite a server-based common runtime format, such as CDB, but it can be used together with legacy systems and legacy dynamic terrain approaches. Additionally, the CAE Dynamic Synthetic Environment Worldwide Database can be used during real operations, along with computer-generated forces to test what-if scenarios with startling accuracy, thus giving commanders a unique forward-looking, persistent situational awareness that until now was unavailable in a virtual world. As more militaries face declining budgets and look to move more training and mission rehearsal into the virtual domain, a more persistent and realistic virtual world is required. The CAE Dynamic Synthetic Environment means training and rehearsing missions is made faster than ever before, and more importantly, with the most up-to-date intelligence available about the environment within which warfighters will fight. The Dynamic Synthetic Environment from CAE, leading the way in open, persistent, and scalable synthetic environments to enable more realistic and cost-effective mission rehearsal and mission success.